Okay, so David, I wanted to show you some of the areas that I was concerned about. Let me see if I can turn this other light on to maybe give me a little bit better light in here. Okay, if you look up here, you can see that this area up here is very rough, uneven, discolored, not painted. Up here the same way, up here. Down here you can see that the painting is very thin, I guess, and it wasn't sanded properly before the painting was done. Then if you come over here, you can just see that there's globs at different places that just wasn't sanded. Right here, down here, just globs everywhere. Then up here, I don't know if I'm tall enough, but there are areas that were never sanded, and you can see the difference in the colors on the wall. You can see the globs of mud and caulk that they're trying to cover stuff up with, but it just is very, very uneven and sloppy. Up there you can still see holes and cracks and different areas, just everywhere really. The hallway really, considering this is all new drywall, it should be smooth and pristine, and it's not. And you can tell the areas that were painted over where the sanding just wasn't done. You can feel dust and roughness where the painting was just done over top of the drywall that was not really finished completely. See this right here? They just didn't even sand over that before they painted over it. And then up here, see this? This, I guess, was a nail pop or something they tried to cover up, and they just painted over it. Still a big glob. They didn't sand it. The imperfections are just everywhere. When you come up here on the stairs, if you sit down along this, you can actually write white dust and it'll fly off onto the floor. Because, see the dust on my fingers? Because they never actually painted right here or finished sanding it before it was painted. There's just glops of mud and stuff everywhere. On these stairs that I just recently had refinished, there are glops of stuff that are on my stairs that shouldn't be. Come up the stairs, see this? See this? Along the edge of the baseboard, up on the ceiling. I don't know if I can zoom in. See those big globs up there? Look at that. And that. And that. I mean, look at that. Look at that nail pop. It's not even filled in. You see that? That's what that looks like. It's just, it's awful. And to say that this is a professional job is laughable, really. I mean, I don't know what to say, but just that, you know, I believe that I could have gotten Jessica and Zach to do this, and it would have been better. It's just ridiculous, really. Absolutely really ridiculous. Do you see that? You can still see the mesh where the, I guess they did a seam or something there. You can still see the mesh through it. Look at that. Come down here all the way along this wall. You can still see the, look, see? That's along this wall right here to the upstairs bedroom. You see all that? All the way down to this big hole right here that was left undone. Yeah. How's that look for you? See along the ceiling up here? What I would like really is just get all my money back, and I will just hire someone to do a job that should have been done a long time ago, and I don't have confidence that it can be done right at all. Look at that. Oh. I feel very taken advantage of, to say the least. Do you see this? This is totally unacceptable. This is just really, really shoddy work, you know? You see that on my floor down there? The floors that I just had sanded and refinished. Yeah, that's what that is. See this baseboard down here? How do you think it looks? Would you have paid almost $4,000 to somebody and have work done like this and think it was acceptable? Look, you can even still see the tape behind there. They didn't take the tape off before they put the edging on. They just left it on there. Hey, isn't that appropriate? Look at that. Look how sloppy that is. Okay, back into this bathroom that you said that you got all the nail pops done. What's that? What's that? Do you see this texture? This is the texturized wall area here to the right when you come in the bathroom. Remember I told you that it needed to be sanded before you repainted? It wasn't done either. Do you see where the paint is so uneven, where it wasn't sanded properly, and there's paint drips down the wall? See that up there? That crack? Over here, another crack. Another area that's just sticking out from the wall, which I don't know what it is. It's a big glob or a nail pop or something. Up along the edge of the ceiling, you can see that it's not even. The paint either is not going all the way to the ceiling, or either maybe it's just that they've caulked it, but then they didn't paint over the caulk. I don't know. But you can see the color is not right from the edges of the ceiling. The trim, I don't even think some of the trim was repainted at all. Do you see this? Do you see how messy it looks? Like just big globs of stuff everywhere. Look at that. There's a crack that wasn't filled in. And again, here's some more things where they did mudding and they never sanded it before they painted. And then there's like big blobs where they were working on the ceiling and they just dropped paint along the wall into where they had painted the blue, or the Iceland blue or whatever. See this? This is where I guess mudding was done and it wasn't sanded. Along here. This is where you can see the color through it. Along here. This is where they put the new glass board in here. And guess what? There's adhesive all over the side of the glass board that wasn't cleaned off. Okay, with arthritis in my hands, I'm not really capable of getting up there and scrubbing really hard to get that adhesive off. That should have been done. Do you see this? This doesn't even look like this trim was painted. You can still see where they tried to mud over the nail pops and stuff on this trim. You see that? Right here. You see that? You see that? You see that? Okay. You see the ceiling right there? Big globs. Globs of stuff. It's not smooth by any Stretch of the imagination, big globs everywhere. So I understand that you feel like you've spent way too much time on this project, and maybe if you had supervised this project, you wouldn't have had to spend so much time here. But I'm sorry, this is extremely inferior work, and I'm not going to accept it. Do you see that? That's where they did some type of mudding to cover something, and then they didn't even paint over it, okay? Or if they did, they put such a light coat, it didn't cover anything. Do you see that? And I know for a fact that you painted over this room, and you painted right over mold that was on the baseboard, because I told your father I couldn't get on my hands and knees to wash that off. And that morning when you came, it was on there. Do you see that hole right there? Yeah, you didn't even do that. Look at the big old globs of stuff dripping down the wall. Do you see this seam? Yeah, that wasn't done. Oh Lord, I could probably go around and do every inch of the wall and show you more and more. And that's not even including my bedroom, and I'm not even gonna go in there. My mom and dad spent a lot of time in the bedroom, and they tried really hard to make it better. And that's the best looking room. So I'm done with my little show and tell session, so that's why I'm upset.